Section 12.2, measures of central tendency. So let's see what we have here. All right, mean, median, mode, and mid-range. The mean. Most people call this the average. So the more mathematical term for it is actually mean. The sum of the data items divided by the number of items we have. Mathematically, we would, let's go back, sorry. We would write it like this. This symbol right here is, well, it's a Greek letter, but what it means is add them up, okay? So whenever we have this symbol, it means add up whatever it is that we have right there. Okay, so this means add the x's. And this end represents the number of items we have. So add up all the data points and divide by the number of numbers we have. All right. Question or example 1, are inventors born or made? It would be nice to think we could be, I can't read this morning. It would be nice to think we could all be great inventors, but history says otherwise. Based on a sample of adults in 10 selected countries, shows wide agreement that inventiveness is a quality that can be learned. Find the mean percentage of adults in the 10 countries who agree that inventiveness can be learned. So we've got China at 92, Singapore 84, Russia 84, South Africa 80, the UK at 78, Australia 77, 77, 77, 75%, and 75% think that inventiveness can be learned. All right, so to find the mean, we would add these numbers up and then divide by the number of numbers we have. They told us that we have 10 countries, so we're going to add these numbers up and divide by 10. Okay. I'm actually going to go to the next slide. So here we have the 92, the 84, the 84, the 80, 78, the 277s, and the 275s. When we add these together, we end up with 799, and we're going to divide by the number of numbers we have, which is 10, which gives us 79.9% of the people. Now, finding the mean or the average when we have a frequency distribution, this tends to give students a little bit of trouble. It's not a difficult thing as long as you understand what's happening. So we're still going to add up the numbers, okay? So this means sum and add up the numbers. But let's suppose if I have 7 different 10s in my data set. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, stop there. So I have 7 different 10s. Well, technically you could add 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, but you know that multiplication is a shortcut for repeated addition. So rather than writing 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, we instead would write this as 7 times 10 or 10 times 7. That's what this is doing right here. It's telling you if I have repeated x's, we're going to multiply the repeats times the x and then add them up and divide by the number of numbers we have. Okay, so, all right, so here we have, what do we have? The students' responses to the question, how stressed have you felt in the last 2.5 weeks, on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being not stressed at all and 10 being as stressed as possible. Use the frequency distribution to find the mean. All right, so this tells me how many of these I have. So I have 2 zeros. Yes, you do have to add the zeros. I have 1 of the 1s, I have 3 of the 2s, 12 of the 3s. So as I was saying on the last slide, I could do 0 plus my 1 plus I've got 3 of my 2's, 2 plus 2 plus 2, but that's a lot of work, especially when we get to the higher numbers. Do we really want to do 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 31 times? Probably not. So an easier way to do that is to realize that 7 plus 7 31 times is equivalent to 7 times 31, or 8 times 26. And this is a multiplication, not an x, and 10 times 14. So I believe, okay, so when I add these up, I'm going to have 2 of my zeros, and I'm going to have 1 of my ones. I'm going to have 3 2's, and I'm going to have 12 3's, and I'm going to have 16 4's, 18 5's, 13 6's. What else we got? 31 7's, 26 8's. That should be 6. 15 9's, and 14 10's. Okay, I'm going to add these all up. So you multiply first, then you add, order of operations. We're going to divide it by the number of numbers we have. This is where students mess up. And a lot of students mess this up. So when you're figuring out how many numbers you have, do not say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers. That's not how it works. Remember the frequency. This is how many zeros I have. Okay, this is how many zeros I have. I've got 2 zeros and I have 1 1. So right now I've got 3 numbers. Now I've got 6 numbers. Okay, now I have 18 numbers. So when you're figuring out how many numbers you have, you got to go to the frequency column and you're going to add these up. Okay, you're going to add these up to figure out what number is going to go here. All right, I'm going to go to the next slide because I think, yeah. So they multiplied these for us because they were being nice. And I believe they also figured out how many numbers we had. So we have 151 numbers. So when we add up all of the frequencies, we ended up with 151 different numbers. And so we're going to take our 975 and divide it by 151 and get approximately 6.46. Okay, so be really, really careful on that. The median is the middle number, okay? But here's the thing. You have to order the numbers from smallest to largest. This is important right there. So it's really easy if you have an odd number of numbers, like let's say we have 7, 9, 15, 32, and 48. Okay, so if I have 5 numbers, it's really easy to see that my middle number is 15. But what happens if I have 6 numbers? Now, instead of the middle number being 15, well, is it 15? Is it 32? What do we have to do? So actually what we do to find the middle number is we actually have to go halfway between 15 and 32. And the way we do that would be we would add these up and divide by 2. Okay, so let's do some examples. All right, the first thing we have to do to find the median, this is important, we've got to put them in order from smallest to largest. So the smallest number is 84, then we have 88 and 90, and then we've got 95 and 98. We have to figure out how many numbers we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since it's an odd number of numbers, we look at the middle number, and our median is 90. All right, same thing. We're going to put the numbers in order, and then we're going to find the middle number. So we've got 7. Let's see, it looks like 13 and 15. Looks like 25 and 28. And then it looks like 34 and 47. And then 68 and 74. All right, so we count up how many numbers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's an odd number of numbers. If it's not obvious to you which one is the middle, if you have an odd number of numbers, sometimes what you can do is kind of work your way towards the middle. Okay, so I'm working my way towards the middle and working my way towards the middle. This one has to be the middle number, or, oh, what did I miss? Okay, let's try this again. Sorry about that, guys. 7, 13, 15. So just so you know, I do make mistakes every once in a while. 34. There we go. 47. Yep. 59. I missed that one last time. And 68 and 74. 68, 74. Count the number of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 numbers. All right, so to find the middle number, we look at the middle 2 numbers. So we can still do it like this. Middle 2 numbers right here. And we're going to find the mean between 28 and 34. I forgot my calculator. All right, so 28 plus 34, we're going to divide that by 2, and we get 31. 31 is the median. All right. Um, 9 longest words. The data items are arranged from smallest to largest already, so we don't have to worry about that. Find the median using the position formula. Okay, so the position formula, that is n plus 1 divided by 2 is the position formula. So we take the number of numbers, we add 1, and we divide it by 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9. We're going to add 1, and we're going to divide that by 2. 9 plus 1 is 10. And we're going to divide that by 2. So my median has to be in the fifth, is going to be the fifth number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth number, 28 is the median, is how you would do that. Okay. Using this is useful when we have a whole bunch of numbers. So just kind of crossing them out end to end works really well when you only have 10 numbers. But if you have 1,000 numbers, you really kind of want to use this position formula. All right. And okay, so I am going to stop here and pick this up in another video.